Do you remember the games that defined your childhood? When the graphics didn't matter, the controls barely worked, but somehow it was the most fun you've ever had. Well, today I'm going back in time to relive these moments and play every single childhood game I can ever remember. So the first game is gonna be the Prince of Persia. This was actually my first video game I ever played in my life. The goal of this game is to escape the dungeon in 60 minutes because if I don't do that, the princess is basically going to die. But the thing is that it's so hard to control this character, like, I don't know if chunky is the right word, but the game was very chunky to me. Like whenever you're trying to jump, it takes him like 7,000 years until he actually jumps. It was so hard to control the character and I was dying non-stop when I was a kid. So now that I'm playing this game as an adult, I'm realizing that the game is as hard as I remember it to be. I finally got the sword so I can fight a soldier, but I do not know how to use this sword, and whenever I try to go back to the soldier, I keep dying on the way. So after 10 minutes of playing the game, I literally gave up. This game is way too hard for me, and I'm giving it a rating of a 6 out of 10. So this next game is actually one of my favorite childhood games I've ever played. It is called Golden Axe. And the funny story about it is that whenever I was a kid, I didn't know how to read English, so we were calling it in the family Cha-Cha-Cha. So basically you have 3 characters to choose from, and every single one of them have different skills. And of course, if you know me, I would go for a dwarf. There's no questions asked. Who would you guys choose, by the way? So the game starts and they tell us the story that the Death Adder invaded the castle and has taken the king and princess prisoners. I guess old school games are all about the same story of saving the princess, but it's okay. We care more about the gameplay and not the story, right? So monsters are trying to kill me, but little do they know that they are dealing with Mr. Dwarf. Nobody should mess with Mr. Dwarf. That's a rule. So the action part of the game is actually so fun to play. There are some skills you can use, and the more you progress, the stronger you become. There are mounts you can ride and attack with them. The bosses are kinda hard to kill, but now I discovered an abuse which I didn't know when I was a kid of how to kill this really strong boss which killed me so many times as a kid. So this is my revenge basically. Oh, and the best part about this game is that it can be played as 2 players. So my brother and I would always play together and compete on who is going to survive the longest, which was so much fun. So the game is a solid 9 out of 10. Moving on. Aladdin. Just listening to the soundtracks makes me wanna cry. It's so nostalgic. So here is a pop quiz. Do you guys know what this game is going to be about? Yes, saving the genie and the princess. This is the 3rd game in a row I have to save the princess. What is up with that? But anyway, let's get to the game. So this game is actually really my type. I really love games where you just have to walk, kill monsters, and try not to die. And surprisingly, I feel like this game was way ahead of its time because the graphics are actually super nice, the gameplay is way more smoother than the rest of the games, and it even has mini games inside of the game which are really fun to play. But still, there are so many things in this game which are so annoying. Like whenever I get hit by this bird, for example, there is no way to escape it. You just have to accept your defeat and die. So for the next time I go to this place, I need to be ready to throw an apple at him and survive. So the moral of the story is that this game is amazing, but if you're playing it for the first time, expect dying so many times. Next up we have the classic Mortal Kombat. If this game is not a 10 out of 10, so I don't know what is. I think it's less of the gameplay but more of the memories. My siblings and I were so obsessed with it to the point that we were doing tournaments with the whole neighborhood to see who is the best player. I always liked to pick Sub-Zero or Raiden. I don't even know why, but they were so cool to me. The funny part about this game is that it can be so annoying. I mean, I remember my brother using the same exact skill over and over and over again, and the other person can't dodge it, which feels like cheating, but it's part of the game, you know? So this game brings back a lot of memories, but also a lot of tears kind of memories, which are not so good, but now that I look back at them, they were funny. So for that, I'm gonna give Mortal Kombat a 10 out of 10. If there is one game I remember the most about my childhood, it has to be this game, The Lion King. The Lion King is my favorite Disney movie ever, and ever since I was a kid I was so obsessed with it. The game itself is so vibrant and full of colors. It has all the soundtracks from the movies, which makes it so much better, and whenever you unlock a new character, which is when you grow up basically, you get a new attack because the game gets way more intense there. I still remember when I was a kid, when I reached the lava map, oh my god, I was so sweaty and nervous because if I'm going to die, I have to restart the whole entire game. There are no saves and no shortcuts, you just have to start all over again. Although it sounds horrible, but the game itself is so worth it, so I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I'm going to be so surprised if somebody actually played this game. It's called Earthworm Jim. This game is one of the hardest games I've ever played in my life. Like, even if I play it right now, it might take me maybe half a year just to try to complete it. The monsters are always way too fast and you don't have time to react to them. Your basic attack has like a half-second delay, which if you ask me, it's such a big deal in gaming. But the game itself is actually so diverse, which makes it so good. Like, every single stage you have a different feature. Whether you're riding a spaceship, you are in a submarine, you're doing bungee jumping, which was actually so fun to play, and whatever that is. So all in all, I'm gonna give it a 7.8 out of 10. Everybody give it up to the first game of the series, The Worms! This game is one of the most underrated games I've ever seen in my life. I swear, if somebody makes a similar game like this in nowadays world, it would go so viral. So you basically control a team of worms armed with really powerful weapons. So you and the other team take turns and you guys have to kill each other as fast as possible. The first team to kill the other one wins. There are many versions for this game, but my top favorite is definitely the 1998 one, which I think I spent around 200 hours on this game. It was so freaking good. This is my favorite weapon, by the way. It's called Super Sheep and it's so OP if you know how to use it. There is also this Sheep Strike, which whenever I used it, I was feeling so satisfied. So anyway, this game is definitely a 10 out of 10. Oh my god, I'm actually so excited to talk about this game. Doom is one of the most classic games in the history of video games. It is so good that they're still making Doom games even to this day. But I gotta say, as much as I love this game, I was always so scared to play it. Imagine you're 7 years old and you see this monster in front of your eyes and you have to kill it, otherwise it will kill you. And I honestly don't know if I'm still traumatized from this game ever since I was a kid, but right now I'm playing it and recording it for you guys and I'm feeling so scared and anxious inside of me. Like, I need somebody to hold my hand or something. Am I the only one who feels this way? Like, please let me know in the comments. I'm actually so curious about this. So anyway, about the story of this game, I honestly have no idea. The only thing I know is that I have to kill monsters and I need to kill bosses. And the fun part about the game is that it has many secret places, which I honestly do not remember where they are right now. But trust me, they're there somewhere. I remember entering a wall here. I don't know why it's not working. Anyway, I love this game. I'm gonna give it another 10 out of 10. Oh my god, I feel like I'm giving everything a 10 out of 10 now. This is really bad for the video. But anyway, I honestly still have a huge list of childhood games I want to mention, but the video is getting way too long. So if you want a part 2, let me know in the comments.